76 Charlie Oscar Yankee, now being driven at high speed down Broad Lane, now turning into Cheetham Road.
It's not slowing.
They're heading in the right direction for the Holbeck.
Sierra Oscar room 275. You can see the car we're following on foot. This way, Lewis.
I'm arresting you on suspicion of theft.
Get your hands off me! Back off! I've got a blade!
What's happened? I don't know. He had a knife on him. He told me I had a blade, so I just pushed him.
All right, son. Call an ambulance. Call an ambulance!
Sierra Oscar from 128. Ambulance required on the Holbeck estate. 17-year-old male with stomach injuries and vomiting. I just shoved him, I swear.
He kicked me. I was already on the ground and he kicked me in the back. I fell and smashed my head against the wall. Then he kicked me again in the stomach.
We'll deal with this once the doctors have seen you.
No, I want to make a proper complaint now.
Yeah, I heard you.
I'm not having this. I'm not being treated like that.
The sooner we get some detail on your injuries, the better. I'll be back to talk to you in a bit, okay? Lewis?
He spends half his time leaning against that telephone box. I thought they had targets there to meet. So many people signed up in a given time. See that? He just let about 5 people walk right past him without approaching any of them.
He's only picking on certain people. Obviously has some sort of idea about who's going to go for his patter and who isn't. Wait a minute.
What?
Look at this bit again. He just took some money off that old woman.
This whole thing would be a lot less complicated if we had caught Connor with a knife.
Yeah, right. Because then it'd be me up in that cubicle, not him.
We've both got to be dead clear as to what happened up to and during the arrest.
You saw
What I saw was Connor lying on the ground, puking everywhere.
Fine if you want to believe him over me.
Okay, let me spell this out for you. If a suspect gets injured during an arrest and then points the finger at the arresting officer, the chances are it's going to be investigated. Now, this could get very sticky for you because no other officer saw what happened.
Lying.
If the bloke has sustained a head injury and bruising to the abdomen during the arrest...
I never kicked him, he never hit his head.
Then you tell me, in detail, your account of the sequence of events.
I pursued Connor on foot into the corner of the estate. I went to arrest him, he resisted. I went to restrain him, then he ducked down like he's reaching for something.
But from where? From his
He
pockets?
reached towards his ankle. Then he tells me he has a knife. He's crouched on the ground, and then he starts rushing me. Pushed him back. It was even that hard. He fell back, but he did not hit his head on the wall.
You didn't kick him?
I swear, all I did is shove him. Next thing I know, he's on the ground, throwing up. What about that bruising? If he keeps saying I did that to him.
Well, then it's up to us to find out what did happen to him. Go get a coffee. Get yourself together.
No, man, I want to be here when he
No,
says something.
Connor's going for a scan. So we can't talk to him yet anyway. I'll call you when he's ready.
He's doing it again. He's just taken money off her. That's the 3rd one.
He is collecting for a charity. Are we sure he's not meant to be taking cash?
I think he's only supposed to be getting people to sign up for direct debits.
Maybe that's why he stationed himself away from the other collectors. We need to double-check with the charity.
We went back to the car and searched through your briefcase. The money's not there.
How much do you think your watch is worth, Raymond?
The company gave it to me a few years ago instead of a cash bonus. I reckon it'd probably sell for between £2 and £3 grand. I don't care about the money or the watch. I just want to know about the woman.
Well, I think the most likely scenario is that you were drugged and you were robbed.
Well, what about the assault?
Given the amount of Rohypnol that we found in your system, I'm not entirely sure you would be able to do it.
Do you really think you were capable of carrying out an attack like that?
A few months ago, my wife announced that she'd been having an affair. She told me it was my fault. So when that woman approached me in the bar, it was the best I'd felt about myself in ages. A pretty, clever woman, about 20 years younger than my wife, and she was flirting with me. Of course I wanted her.
But there's a big difference between wanting to sleep with someone and raping them.
But why would she say that I did? I mean, why would she say that I did that to her?
Well, if she is the one who took your watch and your money, then maybe she wanted to make sure that you didn't report the theft.
Well, that's just sick. I can't believe someone would behave like that.
You're willing to believe that you sexually assaulted a woman?
Well, who knows what I'm capable of?
Well, for what it's worth, I don't think you raped anyone. If anything, I think you're the victim here.
All right, thanks very much, Doctor.
What's happening?
Well, the amount of alcohol in his blood when we brought him in probably accounts for him throwing up.
Right. And the bruises?
Well, the doctor thinks they're at least 2 days old. Something odd came up on the CT scan. Looks like he suffered a fractured skull.
Oh, you're joking.
It has nothing to do with what happened this morning. It's old. The thing is, there's no record of it in his medical files.
What does that mean?
Well, someone's been knocking him around for some time. I've already checked with social services, and they haven't had any dealings with him. Right here.
If you investigate every accusation that Faith Stewart throws at me, you're going to waste an awful lot of your time. And I know your time's very precious.
Faith hasn't accused you of this.
What, she get one of her cronies to do it for her?
I'm arresting you on suspicion of obtaining funds by deception.
Is this a wind-up?
Do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in
This is
evidence.
just a big misunderstanding. She didn't want to make a regular donation, but she did want to make a contribution. She was insistent. I gave it to charity. What do you want me to say? It was a one-off, all right? I won't do it again.
You say you've only done this once.
Yeah.
We have footage of you taking money off people on 3 different occasions.
And the charity have no record of you handing that money over to them. In any case, they're quite clear that none of their workers are allowed to accept cash donations.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
Do you have any idea what our hourly rate is?
Slightly more than a state pension, which is the main source of income for the people you were taking money off.
Do you know, there's been plenty of times when I started investigating one thing and it's turned into something different. This has to beat those hands down. Hope it isn't impinged on your revision timetable too much.
What can I do for you, ladies?
Oh, yeah. DC Masters, DC Sim. We're trying to trace a woman who we think was in your bar last night.
She was healing in here yesterday.
Blonde, early 30s. Looks like she could be dressed in black.
That counts about 25% of the clientele.
Sure. I know it's not very good quality.
If she was in here last night, I can probably do a bit better than that.
Brilliant.
She's a regular, or she used to be anyway.
Is she foreign? German, maybe?
She certainly doesn't sound it. I think she works for a company that's just around the corner.
How do you know that?
Well, we did their Christmas do last year. I'm fairly sure she was with the party. French and Markham Property Management.
Do you usually keep such a close eye on your customers?
Only when they look like that.
There's Raymond.
Someone obviously gave you a good kicking.
Yeah, your mate.
You know he didn't do that.
There's no point in talking. You're just trying to protect him.
It's not about protecting anyone, it's about the truth.
You're scared, aren't you?